Man, behind the scenes, today might be the day. Everybody's been asking when we're gonna get the stump bucket out. But we are officially on the job. Can we call this another nightmare job from Farmer Chris?
I think we can. I think he even called it that.
I think he did too. And then, you know, as soon as we started working, what did he do? He hightailed it out of here. So,
it out.
All right, this one's busted up in phases. Let me kind of show you what we got. All right, it's probably gonna be kind of hard for you guys to see right now, but on the other side of this mess, there's about a 15-acre field. We got about 6 acres of crap, got a couple acre field, acre of crap. We got a ditch, 10-acre field, and then about 7-8 acres of crap. So guess what we get to do?
That's worse than crap up there. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's a swamp.
That's a crap in a pond.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be a pond.
Yeah.
All right, so this winter, the landowner, this land is switched. Chris has rented this property since '97, he said?
Yeah.
That's almost 30 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyways, switched landowners, they come in, had this clear cut. So basically this is all a landmine of stumps, and we gotta dig them all out. But I'm thinking before we dig them all out, we got a whole bunch of piles of crap. That's gonna be one disadvantage of our stump bucket. It's not gonna be ideal for loading crap. So you think we ought to go through and load the crap up first?
All out and
then we'll come back over and start stumping?
Yeah.
All the crap is gonna go over there in yay corner. We're going to attempt to burn what we can. What we can't burn, just gonna get shoved up in a pile over there and left to nature's demise.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna get Bubba Dump fired up.
Yeah, at least you got AC today.
Yeah.
So
well,
do I.
You should have AC too.
Hopefully. All right, well, let's roll. All right, so what we got along the edge of the road right here, this is just all the debris. They were kind enough to leave us whenever they...
Now, what's going to be the best way to do this? Just go on beside you?
Yeah, fade towards the creek a little bit, right beside me would be perfect.
Alright.
So what we're going to try to do is get all this stuff out of our way, so then we go to start digging these stumps out. We're not fighting a whole bunch of this crap, because this is one thing the stump bucket is not going to do as well, is load this stuff out. The other problem we're going to run into on this is it's grown up just enough. We're going to have to go hunting for all of our stumps. I'm sure it ain't going to be too hard to find it. It's not horrible, but just not popped out in the open like all willy-nilly. So it's gonna be a little bit of a chore getting started here, but we'll make it work one way or another. Mud flap off somebody's truck out here.
Yeah.
Think they want it back? Alright guys, we got... Why don't you just get out of here? I'll walk.
Hey, let's get off the truck. We're supposed to be hauling some of this debris.
I seen 2 snakes go in the back. I don't trust that load.
Yeah, that's bigger.
All right, get out of here. All right, I don't know if it's gonna work or not because I don't know how many stumps are in there. We're gonna hop on the dozer and see if we can maybe combine some of these piles so we don't have, I ain't chasing them all the way down through here with the excavator. But we ended up with a whole bunch of stumps in there. This is gonna be a miserable little task, but we'll find out real quick. I'm gonna push it down this way because this is the way, well, the farther down this way we get, the shorter of a haul Aaron's got, which just makes everything go faster. Woo! That kind of worked. You can kind of just see the landmine of stumps appearing. Those size stumps, I think it's going to be pretty easy to get it out. That one there is going to take a little bit, but we got some nice little pile pushed up here. Let's get it loaded out. We'll just keep working our way that way. don't think there's any way around. This is just gonna suck. I guess, I don't know what they were thinking. Pretty much in every one of these big piles of brush, there's a massive stump right in the middle of it. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to pile all the stuff on the stump. But that's what they did. Here we are. Look at that one. That's going to be a fun one to get out. That is the 5th load going out of there. We're making some pretty good progress. We're gonna hop on the dozer to go back and kind of see what Aaron's got going on in his dump site. I don't want to get too much stuff back here to where we can't maneuver and get around back there. So I'd like to try to burn some of this stuff, but it's got a bunch of dirt in it, so I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll find out.
Once you go through, I'm gonna have you kind of push that pile up. I think we can get it established pretty good now you're back here with that dozer. Hey, I think you hit one. Okay, yeah. Maybe one right there too. Come from.
Yeah. I think this 850 is going to be glad we got a stump bucket before this job's over.
Yeah.
right, there's absolutely nothing pretty about this. Just trying to get, I didn't want to leave a bunch of these stumps in here, and Aaron comes in to dump with these new tires. I don't want him running over a bunch of stumps he don't need to be running over. These aren't super heavy loads, so that helps our cause a little bit. And I don't know, it might be a long shot trying to get some of this burned, as much dirt's what's in it, but it's not going to keep us from trying. We got a nice little area here, stump free, where he can come in here and dump. And hopefully stay out of trouble. So go that way quite a bit. There you go. Yep. Straighten her up a little bit now. There you go. Perfect. Keep on going. That'll work. This should be the last load of, let's call it, random debris. There's still some more out there, but it's a good ways out there across this little area. And I ain't gonna track across the landmine to get that little bit. This was the big stuff we needed to get here just so we could see what we were doing. I think we're gonna get this load out of here, switch over to the stump bucket, and see how well that thing's gonna work. That's gonna be the telltale sign of how fast this job's gonna go. All right, it is time, folks. It is time. We're gonna switch over to the stump bucket and see what kind of destruction we can cause. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump in here and do a little voiceover real quick. We had a chaotic day, a little bit of a late start, getting rolling, and then we had some weather pressing and a few other things going on. And just like you guys are eager to see this work, Aaron and I were really super eager to see this thing go in the dirt for the first time and see how it was gonna work. So we did not get the best video of this thing. I do apologize, or the best audio and commentary kind of explaining what's going on. So I just want to kind of jump in and explain what our thought process was and kind of why we built this thing the way we did. So this is the very first stump, first time this thing engaging the ground. And as you guys will tell right off the bat, the decision to kind of get those teeth out in front of the pin really made a world of difference. That allows you to kind of get underneath that stump just like I did right there and pluck that thing right up out of there. And as you guys can tell right off the bat, that was a pretty clean little pluck there. And look how clean that stump is. That's absolutely crazy. You dig this thing out with a bucket, that bucket just kind of wants to force all that dirt right up into those roots right there, and makes it that much harder to burn, which all these stumps have got to be burnt. So this is the scenario where we kind of really shaped and designed this bucket the way we did. And if you kind of watch the motion of the boom, I kind of pull it up underneath the stump. I gotta get a different bite here, but I pull underneath the stump and I'll kind of stick out and push down at the same time. It turns that bucket into one big pry bar. Check that out. Isn't that impressive? It is crazy, the power. This thing will have much more power as a big pry bar lever than what it is just going to be hydraulically just straight up pulling on this thing. This is one thing that kind of plays out to be true too, is this thing does a really good job of busting these stumps up and helps get them into a lot more manageable sizes. So we're going to tie into a bigger one here. This was a big sycamore stump. And these things can really kind of be aggravating. And again, you'll kind of see how I'm able to really take that bucket and kind of work it down underneath those roots. And then just kind of do that little bit of a prying motion right there. And with the shape of that thing, man, it just pops those stumps absolutely perfect, man. It works out so well. That motion right there, in my opinion, is an absolute game changer for working these things out. The other thing is, this is a perfect shot of it right here, is that dirt going through the back of the bucket right there. It's just that much more resistance you don't have, where all that power can go directly to popping those roots and popping those stumps. And then that also allows to have a lot less dirt on the stump, and makes for a much cleaner stump and a much smaller hole you have to come back and repair after all this is said and done. You guys got to remember, when this is all said and done, at some point we got to turn this back into a field where Farmer Chris could come in and farm it. But it's just, first 3 stumps with this thing, I knew right off the bat we had ourselves an absolute winner on our hands. So also, my opinion, it also makes this a lot easier on the machine, because everything is centered right underneath the boom, so you don't have a lot of twisting force going through the boom, prying on the corners of the buckets and different scenarios like that. But man, this thing works so sweet. Like I said, we got a lot more video of it coming. Don't be disappointed, I promise you, but check that out. Man, that is a massive sycamore stump, and there's no cuts, there's no edits, there's no nothing. That's just straight up popping a stump with a 20-ton machine. And I would say that's probably half the time and half the mess we would have had invested doing this with the bucket, even if we had a smaller, like 2-foot bucket. And the other very pleasant surprise, you can kind of see it right here, is this thing actually works with the thumb way better than what I thought it was going to do. And with that hole in the back of the bucket, it makes cleaning these stumps off, stripping the dirt off these stumps and the roots, a whole lot easier too. And those teeth sticking out also make it a whole lot easier as well. So like I said, we were a little bit pressed for time. We had some weather moving in, so it was just kind of get a few quick clips and go. I just want to take a second and kind of explain why we built this thing the way we did, and kind of what our thought process was. We're going to hammer down, pop some stumps out, and then head out. What do you think, Farmer Chris?
Pretty impressed. I wasn't even here, but for the time you've been here, I'm impressed with the
Well, we've only been stumping for right at 3 hours.
No, you've covered some ground.
I'm having second thoughts about doing this by the hour, maybe thinking about doing it by the
job. Yeah. Well, let's finish this one on trial and error, and then we can go from there. Yeah.
All right, Aaron's got to take off. I'm gonna run over and get the other. This whole 850 situation is still confusing.
Yeah, you told me the other day you're gonna get the 850 down here. I'm like, well, which 850 is he gonna move?
That's a legit question. But no, easy with my trailer there, bud. Said easy on the trailer.
I know. Watch that truck over there.
I should clean this road up.
I'll try to find me a dozer guy.
Yeah.
All in all, I'd say we got over half this section
You're
done.
half this little section done already, yeah. Another good day tomorrow. You'll probably have this one cleaned up the way you're going if the
Pretty
weather
close.
stays out of here now.
So we'll have beans here in a week.
I wasn't expecting to, but we might, yeah.
All right, guys, the end of the day here kind of turned into a little bit of chaos, and I have to admit that is the first time in my life I've actually enjoyed stumps. That stump bucket is an absolute game changer. There is no doubt about it. We got a substantial amount done in about 3 hours, and it wasn't because there was a lack of stumps, because we got a bunch of massive stumps in there. But back to the stump bucket real quick. Obviously this is the first time we used it, and man, the thought process in this thing has really paid off. There's two things that are absolutely key to this. If you guys go back and watch the build videos, I talk about it in depth. And as far as I know, there's no other bucket on the market like this. And yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be after they see these videos, because this is absolutely insane how well this thing works. One is this solid bottom. Even on this soft ground over here, it makes a huge difference to be able to heel back and use this thing like a big pry bar and pop them stumps up. And the other thing that makes that possible, I talked about this in the build video too, is those teeth, how far forward they sit of this coupler right here. That way you can really get that thing shoved up underneath the stump and then just kind of hinge back, and pops it absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I had zero issues with our hole clogging up right here. Everything passed right through. Worked absolutely amazing. I did, you guys may have seen in the time lapse, I'm not sure when the video or the battery died, but I did lose a keeper on one of these teeth right here. It was kind of a concern. This is a China shank, it's a China tooth, and a China keeper. So long story short, China failed us, but everything else worked out pretty good. But yeah, everything held up absolutely fantastic. This thing is an absolute game changer. I'm kind of second guessing my decision not to use it up there on that last job we were at with all those pines, but I'll bet you it increased our stump production by every bit of 50%. I was counting on 3 to 4 days to get this done. We're going to be done in a day and a half. Absolutely insane. I will have to say, the 235, it does have the speed. It does have the speed that the 210 didn't. I'm sure you guys can see it. It's got enough additional speed. You guys can probably see it in the videos. I don't have to explain it to you. I'm gonna go out on a limb, especially after digging stumps. It does have a little bit more power. Not necessarily in the lift. I think its lift capacity is pretty similar, but the breakout force, the crowd and the curl has definitely got a little bit more oomph behind it. That definitely helps our scenario as well. The balance is a little less than the 210, but guys, it is not near as far off as what I thought it was going to be. I'm extremely pleased with the balance. You've seen the big stumps we had hanging. You've seen enough now to know that the balance is pretty good on it. I will say we got enough hours on it now. We're getting close to 150 hours on it. Fuel consumption is up a little bit. It's looking to be about 1.5 gallons an hour, which is quite a bit. But and DEF consumption is also up a little bit. DEF consumption is probably almost doubled. Fuel consumption's up about 15%. So, but it is faster, it is more powerful, so we're getting something in return for that. Yeah. Anyways, another productive day. I'm gonna run back over to the other job, get the small 850. I think we're gonna have enough of this cleared out tomorrow. We can start. Chris would love to plant this all as one field this year. Without that bucket, I didn't think it was possible. With that bucket, he might just get to do it. But I'm gonna get the other bucket in here, or the other dozer in here, so we can go behind the big dozer, kind of fine tune this, make sure we get all of our stump holes cleaned up, make sure we didn't miss any small stumps, because that'll absolutely wreck a planter, and keep on going. So yeah, tomorrow, hopefully we'll have a truck driver. We'll get a truck driver, get Aaron back on the dozer. He was doing a good job. And hammer down. We got a fighting chance for getting this little section pretty much knocked out. So anyways, that's a wrap. Let me know. One last question for you guys. That stump bucket is something I could possibly produce and sell. Is anybody interested in one if we go through the trouble? If I can get about 10 to 15 people that are interested in a bucket, we can scale it down for a smaller machine, we can scale it up for a bigger machine. If I get about 10 or 15 people interested, we might just do a production run of those if you guys are interested, because I'm telling you, there is nothing like that on the market, and it is an absolute game changer. So comment down below, let me know if you are interested, or maybe I'll put my email in the description below. You guys can email me, that way I got a way to contact you. So all right, that's a wrap. I'm out of here, gonna do a little trucking, head to the house, call it a day. See you. If your travels take you through southern Indiana or just looking for a unique destination, everybody is always welcome here at the world famous Derby Market and the home headquarters of the Dirt Perfect operation. No guarantees you'll catch Aaron or myself, but feel free to take all the pictures you like. Just for obvious reasons, please don't climb on or in any of the equipment. And most importantly, please tag us on all the social platforms, including the Derby Market. Before you head out, take a quick trip inside, look around, and locate the Dirt Perfect Visitors Map. Be sure you pin the location you traveled from and enter the Dirt Perfect Visitors drawing for a chance to win some Dirt Perfect merch. As always, guys, thank you for watching and supporting this channel. It means the world, and we shall catch you on the next one.